Okay, and that's cured pretty good. So this is kind of what we're looking at now. So now we just need to find the other pieces. This guy. And I think to get the measurements, I'm going to stick them to these two guys together and see if we can just pull lines straight across. Come on now. So let's see if we can just pull a line like that. Get this to come along. This might work better. Along the inside line of the Magwell. And there's the seam on this half. And just make a mark. Now we can take them back apart. Come on now. Then we can take the line we just made, line it up on the bottom of the Magwell, then carry that line straight up. I'm just going to compare and so we can take, and you know what, I'm going to go ahead and play it safe and use the saw here too. Okay, that wasn't as straight as it could have been apparently, so take a little material off the bottom. Okay, that's pretty good. What the heck? Come on. Okay. So holding these guys up. Okay, going this way. Looks like we got a little more material to remove yet. Hello, focus. There we go. No, you're close. Yeah, looks like we have a little bit more we can remove to get it to match up just right. So we'll go ahead and do that then. Now we're going to take the line that we marked here. Now hopefully this will look like this. It looks like it's real close, but just a millimeter, barely off. So check and make sure that's square. Okay, looks like we can actually take a little bit more off the top. Okay, it's looking pretty straight. So hopefully that was the little bit we needed to make these even. And that guy back up. I would say that is pretty darn close. I think that's close enough for our purposes. So, like we did the other side, we can bevel those edges and load it full of DevCon. Okay. So now we can start creeping up on this. Now for starters, I think we need to eliminate some of this, just kind of like we did up here, just kind of create a sharp angle on it so we can get closer with this guy and have just a straighter edge to work with. Let's go ahead and just knock that down a ways. Ah, okay. Got a little bump in here that's causing some grief, so we'll knock it down. Okay, now comes the big decision on what to do in here. So that's... You know what, I'm just debating whether or not we can shorten this up a little bit. So right now what we're looking at is approximately ½ inch of overhang where the Mega Magwell hangs over the Strife Magwell. And I'm just thinking if we can shorten that up to, say, oh geez, like eighth of an inch almost. Wow. I was going to say we could straighten up this cut just a little bit and stick it right there. We'd have to trim actually about most of the this body line off here, and that would put this right up here, and we wouldn't have to worry about trying to use any kind of filler there. So I'm just worried that if we shorten that up too much, it'll affect the overall lines of the Centurion part. So let's zoom out a little bit. And we'll throw the barrel on there real quick. Roughly. Okay, that looks pretty good. Pull it up this high though. Go ahead and stick a magazine in it just for visual sake. Now I kind of like what that does for the front part. Let's see what it does for the grip potential here. How's it looking for everybody? It's like that. This mounts up here. That actually doesn't look that bad. Again, part of the thing I'm worried about is if we have the magwell down here where it looks good, is it creating so much, because we have this line here that's, you know, it hooks down, then it's down, and then it's down, and we also have basically a staircase up here. Do we end up with kind of a funnel look? You know, I hate to have that. If we shorten it up, that'll fill up a good chunk of this, so we won't have to get too creative on filling it. I think since we'll be removing a lot of this body line anyway, take it up into there, then yeah, like we talked before, we might be able to get away with just running a filler piece just across here and just coming all the way across. which might actually be the better option. I was kind of liking what it did here. It made, we wouldn't be able to put the grip easy. With this flat part here being parallel, it kind of hooked down just a little bit, but I think we'd be pulling it in a little further because I'd like to tie it into this part of the body, so it's not like sticking out awkwardly in front of or anything. So it would make this part kind of hook down just a little bit and then up, and then this would kind of run into everything else. So I kind of actually like the direction that's going. So, it's a tough call. Once we remove that much material, there's really no going back. So, feeling good about it so far, but I felt good about things yesterday, and yesterday was a bad day. So, I think for the heck of it, I'll go ahead and square off this cut. This was just a raw cut on the bandsaw, I believe. So I think we'll straighten it up just a little bit so we have a little more accurate representation of what we're working with. Actually, before I get too excited, I should compare it to the other piece to make sure we have as much material. And it looks like they're pretty close. I just hate to think we got such a good deal going here and then find out that there's less material to work with on the other side, so we'd be using some, you know, fillers and stuff like that anyway. But it looks like we got just about the same material. So go ahead and just square this guy off. So that would just stick up there like that, but it would sit down a little further. Which will be kind of a little weird. Let's zoom back in. That's good. So we have this little bump that hooks down that'll just be kind of coming out of nowhere. But I don't think it'll be too bad, especially once we kind of blend things in. We'll have a relatively flat panel through here, and then you'll just have a little casual guy that comes over and drops down. And I think that'll be fine, especially considering that this guy will be... yeah, he'll be right in there in that neighborhood anyway. So, boy. Gotta say, I'm really, see if we pull, I'm just looking at the future issues of the mag release thing. I'm just thinking if we move this material, this will move this little cutout area pretty much up flush with the cutout for where I have the Magwell already, the mag release anyway. So that, boy, that might be the better deal. As much as I kind of liked having the Magwell a little bit lower and having the flared thing, it'll still be flared a little bit. It just won't be quite such an exaggerated flare. We'll be talking like I said, just 1/8 of an inch or so. Less of a full-on flare, and it'll be more of just a Magwell escutcheon, or, you know, a little dress-up thing. So I think, you know what? I'm not going to commit just yet. It's late. I think I'm going to sleep on it. I'll consider things a few more times, and I'll sleep on it, and we'll come back tomorrow and see if it still sounds like such a good idea. And if it is, we'll start moving. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow.